what Malley is doing here is praising the hyperbolic. He's saying, I don't want to just focus on lowly lowly things. I don't want to have a plain style of poetry. I don't want to minimize things. I want to be hyperbolic. I want to amp things up, be as powerful as possible. I want to produce a miracle. I want to produce magic. I want to have power. And that is what we see constantly throughout his poems. If we look at these two sonnets, what we can put together is that as we're reading this sequence, we are going to see poems that are taking risks. We are going to see poems that supposedly are failing to work. I don't think any of them fail. I don't think any of the lines fail. I don't think any of the syllables fail, but they have the aesthetic of failure, okay? They're poems that sound like they fail. They're poems that if you read them the first time and you don't know they're great poems, you're going to think, ooh, the poet made a bad choice there. That sounds really stupid. But it's the serious frolic. He's making he's making choices that sound bad, but work as a miracle. And that's what we have to expect from these poems. We have to expect things that sound stupid, but nonetheless make us feel something. Things that sound absolutely absurd and impossible, but nonetheless somehow work in our heads. We have to expect the hyperbolic. We have to expect him saying things that are just cringy, just ridiculously cringy and bad because they're so over the top, and we have to still love them because he makes it work. He makes it work. He makes the miracles happen. So I just love that about these poems. I love that when I was going through these the first time many years ago, and I memorized them all by heart, and I was learning each line, and and they would get to a line where I just had originally thought, no, that one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. That one's not very good. And then I would memorize it by heart. And in the process of memorizing it by heart, I would realize, no, that is an amazing line of poetry. That line of poetry is better than all the other lines of poetry, you know. It works so beautifully once you put aside your cringe, once you put aside your critical mind and you just accept it for what it is. You're just like, oh, it's so beautiful though. I love reading it out to myself. I love the sound of it. I love the imagery of it. I love everything about it. You know, I love the impossibility of it. And that's what you need to do with Malley. You need to just accept these impossibilities and these silly things, accept them as part of the joy of these poems. Just that he's proving that these things can be beautiful despite their badness.